The rejection and resolve. Commander Maya Chen stood alone in the vast chamber of the Galactic Assembly, her crisp blue uniform stark against the curved obsidian walls that towered above her. The chamber was designed to intimidate, and it was working. Hundreds of representatives from across the galaxy sat in ascending tiers, their alien features barely visible in the dim light. Some had scales, others tentacles. Some floated in special environmental chambers, while others required exosuits just to survive in the shared atmosphere. All eyes, or whatever passed for eyes among the assembled species, were fixed on her. For 50 years, humanity had prepared for this moment. They had ended wars, reversed climate damage, developed sustainable energy, and united under a single planetary government. First contact with the Galactic Assembly had occurred just as Earth achieved faster-than-light travel, and they were given a simple message: prove yourselves worthy of membership. Now, after half a century of progress and preparation, Maya stood before them as Earth's chosen emissary. Her pulse quickened as the Grand Arbiter, a towering being with ashen skin and eyes like liquid mercury, rose from the center of the chamber. The Galactic Assembly has reviewed the application of species designation human from the planet Earth for full membership. The Arbiter's voice resonated, translated perfectly into her earpiece. After extensive deliberation, the Assembly has reached its decision. Maya straightened her shoulders. The speech she prepared, the one about gratitude and cooperation, waited on her tongue. The application is denied. The words hung in the air. Maya felt as though she'd been struck. This couldn't be right. Respected Arbiter, may I ask on what grounds? She managed to keep her voice steady. The Arbiter's mercury eyes swirled. The human species exhibits several concerning traits that make it unsuitable for membership at this time. A representative rose from the middle tier, a being with feathered appendages and a beak-like mouth. Humans are too volatile, too unpredictable. Your evolutionary psychology makes you prone to territorial aggression and emotional decision-making. Another representative, this one a gelatinous form that pulsed with bioluminescence, added, "Your species has only achieved interstellar capability within the last century." Most Assembly members explored the stars for millennia before being considered for membership. "I understand your concerns," Maya replied carefully, "but humanity has made remarkable progress. We've unified our planet, eliminated resource scarcity. With technology provided through contact with more advanced species," interrupted a third delegate. "The evaluation period for Earth will be extended by 200 standard cycles. You may reapply then." 200 years. Everyone who had worked toward this moment would be long dead. "Arbiter, with respect." Maya tried one more time. "Is there no path for conditional membership or observer status?" The Arbiter's expression remained impassive. "The decision is final, Commander Chen. Earth is not ready." The session ended. Representatives filed out, some casting curious glances at her, most ignoring her completely. Maya stood frozen, the weight of humanity's hopes crushing down on her shoulders. A small being with crystalline features approached. "I voted in your favor, Commander," it said in a gentle tone. "Not all of us fear difference. Give it time." "Thank you," Maya replied. "But I fear time is the one luxury Earth no longer has." The journey back to Earth took 3 weeks. 3 weeks of composing her report, of rehearsing what she would tell the United Earth Council. 3 weeks of staring into the void of space, something hardening inside her with each passing day. The Assembly had made their decision. They thought humans were too unpredictable, too young among the stars. Perhaps they were right, and perhaps that was exactly what the galaxy needed. The United Earth Council chamber fell silent as Maya finished her report. President Ileana Okafor, a tall woman with close-cropped silver hair, sat motionless, her expression unreadable. Around the circular table, 20 representatives from Earth's major regions absorbed the news. 200 years, said Councillor Ramirez, breaking the silence. "They want us to wait 2 centuries for the privilege of joining their club." "It's more than a club," Maya responded. Assembly membership means access to technology, trade routes, protection. Protection they clearly don't think we deserve, interrupted Counselor Zhao. What's to stop other species from seeing us as easy targets now? President Okafor raised her hand, silencing the murmurs. Commander Chen, in your assessment, was there any indication that our application might be approved with additional concessions or reforms? Maya shook her head. No, Madam President. The decision felt predetermined, as if our application was a formality they needed to process before the rejection they'd already decided upon. The council chamber erupted in heated discussion. Some argued for doubling down on efforts to meet assembly standards. Others suggested withdrawing from galactic affairs entirely, focusing inward on Sol system development. Dr. Imani O'Keefe, Director of Advanced Sciences, who had been quiet until now, stood up. Madam President, council members, if I may. All eyes turned to her. For 50 years, we've been trying to fit ourselves into the assembly's box. But what if that's not our path? She activated a holographic display in the center of the table. My team has been developing technologies that go beyond what the assembly has shared with us. We've kept this research quiet, even from our assembly liaisons. The hologram showed designs for a new type of drive system and what appeared to be a communication network unlike anything they had seen before. Project Starbridge, Dr. O'Keefe explained. A propulsion system that's 3 times faster than our current tech and a quantum communication network that would allow instant messaging across any distance. The assembly has similar technology, Counselor Kim pointed out. They only share it with full members. Our approach is different, Dr. O'Keefe countered, and potentially more efficient. But that's not all. She changed the display. We've also detected signals from 12 different star systems outside assembly space, non-member species who may be in the same position as Earth. President Okafor leaned forward. Are you suggesting an alliance? I'm suggesting we stop asking for a seat at their table and start building our own, Dr. O'Keefe replied. The room fell silent again as the implications sank in. The assembly would see this as a provocation, warned Counselor Ramirez. Only if they discover it, said Maya, surprising herself with her own words. All eyes turned to her. The assembly has vast territory, but they don't monitor everything. There are blind spots, regions they consider unimportant. President Okafor studied her carefully. Commander Chen, you've seen the assembly up close. What do you recommend? Maya looked around at the council, at the people who represented humanity's best hope for the future. The anger she had nursed during her journey home had transformed into something else. Determination. I recommend we stop playing by their rules, she said firmly. Dr. O'Keefe's right. If they won't give us a seat at the table, we'll build our own. And we'll invite everyone else they've rejected to join us. A slow smile spread across President Okafor's face. Then let's get to work. The Vorian homeworld hung like a blue-green jewel against the blackness of space. From the bridge of the UES Pathfinder, Maya watched as they approached the planet's orbit. The ship was one of Earth's newest, equipped with Dr. O'Keefe's experimental drive, and capable of speeds that would have astonished the assembly. We're being scanned, reported Lieutenant Park from the sensor station. Maya nodded. That's expected. Maintain course and keep our weapons systems powered down. We're here as friends. They had spent 6 months studying the Vorians before making contact. A bipedal species with iridescent scaled skin and 4 arms, they had achieved spaceflight a century before Earth, but had been denied assembly membership nearly 50 years ago. Captain, we're receiving a transmission, announced Communications Officer Dias. Put it through, Maya ordered. The view screen flickered to life, showing a Vorian with deep blue scales and amber eyes. Unknown vessel, this is Defense Commander Tall of the Vorian Protectorate. Identify yourself and state your purpose. Maya stepped forward. Commander Tall, I am Captain Maya Chen of the United Earth Ship Pathfinder. We come in peace, seeking dialogue between our peoples. The Vorian's inner eyelids flickered, a sign of surprise, according to their research. Earth, You are not assembly members. How did you find us? Why are you here? Like you, we were deemed unworthy by the Galactic Assembly, Maya replied. We seek friendship with species who share our experience. We believe there's another path forward, one we create together rather than one dictated to us. Tal was silent for a long moment, studying Maya with those amber eyes. What exactly are you proposing, Captain Chen? An alliance. Equal partnership between independent worlds. Sharing of technology, resources, and mutual defense. A new power in the galaxy, not to oppose the Assembly, but to chart our own course alongside it. Another long silence. Then, your ship moved through our detection grid before we were aware of it. Your technology appears advanced. Maya smiled. That's just one of many developments we're willing to share, Commander. As equal partners, Tal conferred with others off-screen, their musical language flowing too quickly for the translator to keep up. Finally, he turned back to Maya. The Sovereign Council will meet with you, Captain Chen of Earth. One shuttle, you and 2 others. We will talk of this alliance. As the transmission ended, Maya felt a surge of hope. This was just the beginning. They had identified 11 other species who might join them, 11 other civilizations rejected or ignored by the Assembly. Set course for the coordinates they're sending, she ordered, and inform Earth. Project Starbridge is officially underway. The first stone had been cast. The ripples would soon spread across the galaxy. The new paradigm. 5 years had transformed everything. Admiral Maya Chen stood on the observation deck of Concordia Station, watching ships dock and depart from the massive space structure that served as the headquarters of what was now officially called the Allied Worlds. 12 species had joined the alliance, each bringing their own strengths and technologies to the table. The Vorians had contributed their expertise in bioengineering and medicine. The Nesdarians, a gaseous species from a low-gravity world, had revolutionized their understanding of atmospheric sciences. The Kivori, with their silicon-based biology, had insights into crystal computing that were decades ahead of Earth's research. Together, they had built something unprecedented, a true coalition of equals. Quite a view, isn't it? Dr. O'Keefe joined her at the viewport, her dark hair now streaked with silver. Hard to believe what we've accomplished in 5 years. The Assembly still doesn't know the half of it, Maya replied. Their observers think we're just a minor trading cooperative. Dr. O'Keefe smiled. That changes today. Today was the culmination of Project Starbridge, the public unveiling of the quantum gate network that would link all Allied worlds instantaneously, regardless of distance. The technology that the Assembly had always claimed was centuries beyond humanity's grasp. Is the Odyssey ready? Maya asked. Final checks are complete. President Okafor is already aboard, Dr. O'Keefe confirmed. The other Allied representatives are assembling in the observation lounge for the demonstration. They made their way through Concordia's corridors, passing humans working alongside Vorians, Nesdarians, and other Allied species. What had begun as a defiant response to rejection had become something more, a vision of what the galaxy could be when different species collaborated as equals. The observation lounge was crowded with dignitaries from all 12 Allied worlds. Through the massive viewport, they could see the UES Odyssey, Earth's new flagship, positioned near a large structure that appeared to be a metallic ring nearly a kilometer in diameter. The first quantum gate. President Okafor's face appeared on the main screen. Representatives of the Allied worlds, today marks a turning point in our shared journey. For too long, the Galactic Assembly has controlled access to instantaneous travel through their network of wormhole gates, a privilege reserved for full members. Maya watched the faces of the gathered diplomats. Some showed excitement, others apprehension. Today, we activate our own network, Okafor continued, a system built not on exclusion, but on shared innovation. The quantum gate you see before you is the first of 12, one for each Allied world. Once completed, our network will allow instant travel throughout Allied space, fundamentally changing our economic and defensive capabilities. A murmur of approval rippled through the crowd. Admiral Chen, Dr. O'Keefe, you made this possible. Would you do the honors? Maya and Dr. O'Keefe stepped to the control console. Together, they placed their hands on the activation panel. The quantum gate began to glow, energy coursing through its circumference. The center of the ring shimmered, space itself seeming to fold inward, creating what looked like a pool of liquid light. Gate is stable, reported Dr. O'Keefe, reading the data. Quantum tunnel established. On screen, President Okafor nodded. Odyssey proceeding through the gate. The assembled diplomats watched in awe as Earth's flagship moved forward, entering the shimmering portal. For a moment, it seemed to stretch, elongating impossibly. Then it vanished. Seconds later, a communication came through. This is Odyssey. We've arrived at the Alpha Centauri construction site. Transit was smooth, just as predicted. A journey that would have taken days had been completed in seconds. The lounge erupted in cheers, and the alien equivalents thereof, Vorian crest flaring, Nesdarian color shifting, Kivori crystalline resonance. But the celebration was short-lived. Admiral, a young officer rushed into the lounge. We've detected multiple assembly vessels entering Allied space. They're on an intercept course with Concordia. Maya exchanged a glance with Dr. O'Keefe. Sooner than we expected. But not unanticipated, Dr. O'Keefe replied. Maya turned to the gathered representatives. Please remain calm. We prepared for this possibility. Our defensive systems are fully operational, and the Odyssey will return momentarily through the gate. Within minutes, Maya was back on Concordia's command deck, watching as 6 assembly vessels approached the station. Their sleek, organic designs marked them as Centauri ships, the Assembly's peacekeeping force. They're hailing us, reported Communications Officer Diaz, now a captain herself. On screen, Maya ordered. The image of a Centauri commander appeared, tall and slender with pale blue skin and those characteristic mercury eyes that had haunted Maya's memories for 5 years. This is Enforcer Liran of the Galactic Assembly. You have constructed an unauthorized transit gate in violation of Assembly technological protocols. Power down the device and prepare for inspection. Maya stepped forward. Enforcer Liran, I am Admiral Maya Chen of the Allied Worlds. The quantum gate is sovereign technology developed independently by our coalition. We are not subject to Assembly protocols. The Centauri's expression hardened. Unregistered alliances between non-member species are prohibited under Assembly Charter, Admiral Chen. This coalition has no legal standing. Power down your systems, or we will be forced to take action. We will do no such thing, Maya replied calmly. The Allied Worlds are 12 sovereign species in free association. We have violated no legitimate law. Your final warning, Admiral. The Assembly will not allow. At that moment, space behind the Assembly vessels distorted, and the Odyssey emerged from another quantum gate, one the Assembly ships hadn't detected. Enforcer Liran. President Okafor's voice cut in as she appeared on split screen. Perhaps we should discuss this situation more productively. The Allied Worlds have no quarrel with the Assembly, but we will not be dictated to. We invite Assembly representatives to Concordia for proper diplomatic talks, as equals. The Enforcer's mercury eyes swirled in what Maya recognized as confusion. They had clearly expected Earth to back down immediately. The appearance of the Odyssey, demonstrating technology they thought impossible for lesser species, had thrown them off balance. This is irregular, Liran finally said. I must consult with the Arbiter. Of course, Maya replied. We'll await your response. As the transmission ended, President Okafor turned to Maya. They'll be back, and with more ships. We're counting on it, Maya said. Phase 2. Okafor nodded. Proceed. Within hours, the Assembly had returned, not with 6 ships, but with 20, including one of their massive diplomatic vessels. The message was clear. They were taking the situation seriously. The new transmission came not from Enforcer Liran, but from the Grand Arbiter himself, the same being who had denied Earth's membership 5 years ago. This unauthorized coalition must disband, the Arbiter declared without preamble. While we recognize the sovereignty of individual species, combined technological development outside assembly oversight threatens galactic stability. Maya had rehearsed this moment countless times. Grand Arbiter, the Allied worlds will not disband. We are not seeking assembly approval, merely informing you of our existence as a courtesy. Our quantum gate network will be completed within the month, connecting all 12 of our worlds. Such technology is beyond your capability, the Arbiter stated dismissively. Evidently not, Maya replied, gesturing to the active gate beside Concordia. Perhaps you have underestimated what cooperation between lesser species can achieve. The Arbiter's mercury eyes narrowed. If you persist in this course, there will be consequences. Assembly protocols exist for the safety of all galactic civilizations. Protocols that conveniently keep advanced technology in the hands of a select few, Maya countered. The Allied worlds offer a different vision, one of shared advancement and mutual respect. Admiral Chen, President Okafor interjected, perhaps we should demonstrate our commitment to this vision. Maya nodded, understanding the signal. Indeed, Madam President. Grand Arbiter, we have prepared a data package detailing some of our technological achievements, including the principles behind our quantum gate network. We offer this freely to the Assembly, not as supplicants seeking approval, but as one galactic power to another. The data transfer was sent before the Arbiter could refuse it. His expression changed as reports presumably came in from his staff, reviewing the information. This is unexpected, he finally said. These advancements should not have been possible. And yet here we are, Maya replied. The Allied worlds don't seek conflict with the Assembly. We propose a simple agreement, recognition of our coalition and non-interference in our affairs. In return, we will share technological developments and coordinate on matters of galactic security. The Arbiter was silent for a long moment, those mercury eyes swirling as he considered the situation. The Assembly had expected to find a minor coalition they could easily intimidate. Instead, they faced a unified alliance with technology rivaling their own. This matter requires deliberation by the full Assembly, he finally said. In the meantime, we will establish a provisional diplomatic channel. Your quantum gate network may proceed without interference while discussions continue. It wasn't full recognition, but it was a start. A crack in the Assembly's monolithic control of galactic affairs. As the transmission ended, cheers erupted across Concordia's command deck. Maya felt a hand on her shoulder and turned to find President Okafor smiling at her. They blinked, Okafor said. They did, Maya agreed. But this is just the beginning. The Assembly won't easily accept a challenge to their authority. Good thing we're not done challenging them, Okafor replied with a grin. Dr. O'Keefe's team has made a breakthrough with the phase shift technology. Maya raised an eyebrow. Already? I thought that was years away. Turns out the Kivori have been working on something similar. Together, we've accelerated the timeline considerably. Maya looked out at the stars, at the assembly ships maintaining their distance from Concordia, at the quantum gate that represented just the first step in humanity's new journey. 5 years ago, she had stood alone in the assembly chamber, feeling the sting of rejection. Now she stood among friends and allies from across the galaxy, building something new, something better. The assembly had denied Earth a seat at their table, so humanity had built a new table entirely, one where everyone was welcome, where innovation flourished without constraint, where different species came together not as rulers and subjects, but as partners and friends. And this was only the beginning. The stars awaited, not just for humanity, but for all the allied worlds. Together,